Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome back to Edo Blossoms, where now we get to see some not so nice endings with our boy Sanosuke. So because there was no bloodlust and furiness going on in his route, we have no corruption stuff to load, but we're in chapter 4 and with low romance. And for his unrequited love ending, we actually still say goodbye to him and have our fun times together, which is just going to make the unrequited love ending that much worse. So, yay! It's the other... Yeah, there's another choice, but it's like one of the choices is skipped. Which one is the choice that's skipped? Apparently we don't talk about our dream. We still do the major makeouts and stuff, but we don't dream this time around? And don't have like that... We just not have that deep, you know, kind of... I forget how Chizuru described the kiss with Harada, that second kiss. But like after she woke up from her dream, and then he just gave her like that really deep, loving kiss. Then nibbled on her lips and stuff. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. So I wonder if we skipped that kiss in this ending. Because the other choice that we do is when we have the social quagmire times with Ibuki and Shizu, I think is her name. Okay, so we still have a nice goodbye with Shin. I'm sad we never saw Shin again in the epilogue. Harada just like lost all his friends and we never heard what happened to any of them. We're like, we live by the cliff now with our son and everything's wonderful. Which is great. Okay, yeah, so we skipped that dream thing. How interesting. So instead of saying, yes, he is very kind, we take him for granted, and that's gonna ruin things for us. So let's see how that plays out. I'll be alright. I'm used to it by now.
You don't look too much older than me, but I've gotta say, you've got guts. Well, she was living with the Shinsengumi for almost 4 years. Of course she's got guts. Oh, she was, huh? Makes a lot more sense now.
Everything, it makes sense now. Okay. I mean, that was still pleasant, just not as pleasant as the other time where he's like, well, you know, I treat her special because she's gonna be my wifey one day. So, when will things go wrong? Because we didn't talk about feeling doubtful with our dad, it's gonna revolve around Dad. Is it because he doesn't understand how we feel about it going forward? Because we didn't talk to him about it, are we gonna be more upset with him than we would be? Will he hesitate because he doesn't know how we feel, and so that hesitation kills him? Shiranui gonna take care of us? I'd be okay with Shiranui taking care of us. He's a bro. Hopefully the two of them don't die. That'd be horrible. Okay, so Harada still swoops in. Save Shiranui. Alright. I thought it was gonna change there. Not yet. Okay, Furies are feasting. Dad's calling out to me. Do I still stab you? Still stab you. Okay, so I still have the resolve to try to kill you. It just still didn't work out. Because you're now Fury Demon Dad. Now he's throwing scalpels again. Same ones are deflected. Same ones go into the same places. Ugh. Man, so far it's playing out the same. When's it gonna change? Okay. Now I guess. Sanosuke! He instructed me to stay back and watch, but there's no way I could do nothing. Absolutely none. Without a second more to think, I unsheathed my Kodachi and stormed for Sanosuke? The next moment, however... Dad, did you throw stuff at me? Oh. I blocked Sanosuke's body, and all 8 of the scalpels landed on my body like darts to a board. Ow! Coup? I don't even know what noise to make for this one. Maybe? Excruciating pain rang throughout my whole body.
You idiot! I told you to stay back!
Sanosuke screamed at me out of concern, but... I apologize. I couldn't just sit and watch it happen. I'll be okay. This is nothing. My body will heal itself soon. I inhaled deeply, biting my lip as I painfully extracted each of the scalpels lodged deep underneath my skin. Sanosuke winced each time one of the scalpels was pulled from my body, even more than when he had been stabbed himself. Just then.
Chizuru, do you intend on risking your life to kill me?
I nodded curtly in response. I owe you so much for raising me, and I will always be indebted to you as your daughter. But that's why stopping you is so important. I can't allow you to continue in good conscience.
I see.
Father's expression changed as he muttered coldly. He put 2 fingers to his mouth and whistled loudly, signaling the Furies who were battling Shiranui nearby.
My Fury, she is fair game. Feast on her blood. She may be a demon, but she is still pure-blooded. She will prove to be a delicate morsel, I'm sure. You rat bastard!
Suddenly, I felt the haunting glare of dozens of red eyes all pointed straight at me. Interesting. Then I heard one of them eek towards me. 3. Coo coo coo. What's with all the coos? Blood. Blood! A gang of Furies kicked at the ground and charged at me as a group. As I threw my hands in front of my face in an act of self-defense, Sanosuke waved his spear at them. One of the Furies ran straight into the path of the spear, which Sanosuke drove deep into its heart. Sanosuke focused every ounce of energy left in his body for one last decisive battle. A herd of bloodthirsty Furies continued to charge. Shiranui, help! Blood! Give me your blood! Sanosuke weaved through them, using both ends of his spear to deal with the flurry of rabid Furies attacking him from all directions. It was amazing that Shiranui fought all of them off. I became horrified by harsh sounds of flesh being ripped apart by steel and the distant blood-curdling screams of Furies dying in agony.
Damn it! They just won't stop! There's no end to this!
With his injured hand, Sanosuke struggled to keep up with the constant wave of Furies, and for every one he killed, a dozen more would rise in its place. Sanosuke fanned his spear horizontally, but his strike missed, causing him to lose his balance. Ha 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 ha!
Oh!
Sanosuke! Once more I attempted to rush for Sanosuke with my Kodachi in hand, but... Sanosuke shoved the butt end of his spear right into the bridge of my nose. Deserved. Ah! Before I knew it, my body flew backwards. I landed in the nearby bushes, and my face was searing white-hot in pain. I was seeing stars in my eyes, and a moment later...
Gah!
From a short distance away, I heard my beloved Sanosuke groaning in pain. Groaning. Sanosuke! I immediately shot back up to help him, but... I saw him, his longer, slender body swaying back and forth, wilting underneath the break of dawn. And then... Sanosuke's body dropped lifelessly to the floor.
Blood. Blood. Blood.
Only one word registered at all to the slow-moving Furies, all of whom seemed dazed by the heat. Everything went suddenly quiet, save for the grim sound of flesh being viciously ripped apart. Oh man, does he have to be eaten? What I didn't hear, however, was Sanosuke's voice. He hadn't called out my name, nor had anything left his lips after he'd fallen to the ground. Instead, I heard the Furies feasting ghoulishly upon a nearby body, licking its blood without abandon. Stop! Don't you dare touch Sanosuke! I was helpless. There was nothing I could do. Oh, she tried. I desperately grabbed my Kodachi and began to slash blindly at the group of Furies near his body.
What good do you think that little knife will do to the Furies, my child?
I knew that it was useless. Whatever wounds that I inflict upon them would only heal seconds later, twice as quickly as my body could heal. But I couldn't care less. A life without him was a hollow gesture, and I had no intention of living to see that day come. Just then, multiple gunshots cracked from behind me.
How intriguing to find not one, but two demons willing to sacrifice their bodies to feed my Furies, eh? Face it, the extinction of your people is inevitable.
These abominations are nothing to boast about!
Shiranui screamed at the top of his lungs before glancing over at me.
I am going to avenge Harada. You'd better stay alive until I kill all of them, girl!
I nodded in return to his stern command. Revenge! Thank you, Shiranui. Wow. An indeterminable amount of time passed, and all I had as reference was the break of dawn peeking through the horizon over to the east. Piles of decrepit, mangled corpses lined the entire mountain road leading up to Mount Ueno, and their horrific stench filled the air. From what I gathered, Shiranui had killed Father by shooting him several times with his pistol, but the details were a little unclear to me. That's fine.
That's all of them, but we suffered a heavy loss today.
Shiranui's words seemed to flow in one ear and out of the other, like a breeze lilting through a meadow of flowers. My eyes wandered along the path of corpses, landing on Sanosuke towards the end. His body was slashed beyond recognition by the Furies. Ugh, what a way to go. Approaching, let alone touching, his dead corpse would have been unbearable, if not devastating. He vowed to remain by my side eternally. After confronting my father, the two of us were going to make our dreams a reality, settling down in the countryside and starting a small family.
So, what's next for you, then? I think it goes without saying that Edo now belongs to the Imperial Army. I don't think they'll show you any mercy if they discover that you're affiliated with the Shinsengumi. Giving me the cold shoulder still, huh? Well, if you were planning on doing so, I could escort you to live in one of the demon villages. But you don't seem too keen on the idea. Well, whatever. It's your life, kid. Do what makes you happy.
I watched him intently as he lost his patience, and with that, Shiranui bowed his head and left. He bowed, though. Shiranui and I shared something together in that we grieved over the loss of someone dear to us, so I was sure that what I'd wanted to do next would have come as no surprise to him. Oh, wow. My hand reached down to my hip, unsheathing my Kodachi as I flipped the blade in my hands. I pointed its sharp tip towards my throat. Sanosuke. What I am about to do might break your heart if you were here to see it, and it pains me to think that I could be any source of sorrow for you. Knowing you, you would have probably tried convincing me to go on living as boldly as I could, I could see your lips smile at me kindly with your soft-spoken charm. But the truth is, I'm not strong enough to live without you. Hold on, Sanosuke. We'll be reunited soon enough, okay? I shut my eyes, picturing him smiling warmly at me from some distant place. I shoved the blade into my throat, feeling the cold steel crush my windpipe, and everything went black. That was intense. There's something tragically beautiful about that though. Considering that Sano tried to commit seppuku a long time ago and failed. And then when he died, she took her life. If it had been like through the stomach as well and she succeeded, that would have been like kind of a full circle thing, and that would have been really not neat, but you know what I mean. Still, just the fact that she took her life there is like, wow. And Shiranui avenged his boy. Poor Shiranui lost 2 friends. And was gonna take her somewhere, but she's like, no. Huh. Yeah, I mean, that was horrible what happened, but it was still like kind of a tragically beautiful end. It was a tragedy instead of a happy ending. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about that. I like that she just kind of blacked out when Shiranui's like, I'm gonna kill everybody, okay? And she's like, I think he shot my dad multiple times, but I'm a little hazy on the details, and I'm just not gonna ask about that. That's so sad, though. The last thing that happened is he hoofed her in the face with his spear right in the nose, and then she didn't even see, like, the killing blow. And he's just dead, and then he started getting eaten. Ugh. Horrible. Proud of her for running in there, though, and, like, slicing all of them off of his body. Huh. Okay. Well, that was an ending. That's for sure. So, unrequited love, all done. So, I guess that means... Alright. Thanks for joining me for that, guys. Yeah, I feel, like, sad, just like a poignant sadness. But anyway, that was the unrequited love ending. There are 4 other bad endings. Well, bad endings now, so if you want to see those, I'll see you over there, guys.